Hi everyone. So on this video, I am going to take you through 10 very strong stocks that I already have on my portfolio. I have invested close to $1 million. Here is my portfolio. And going forward, I'll be investing close to 15 CR more. So close to $2 million I'll invest more in the next 1.5 years on almost these type of stocks. Now, why? Because these are AI driven stocks. They are generating real growth in the world. Some of them are Indian stocks. Some of them are stocks which are outside India. So I'm going to give you an understanding. So highly request you to watch this video till the very end. Also, it's commonsensical that it's not about markets right now. It's also about companies that are leveraging tech, people who are leveraging tech. They are the ones who are going to command a premium in the knowledge economy. The highest paying roles, the best businesses are all leveraging AI, and you should start leveraging AI as well. So just a quick note from our partners from today who can help you master AI in just over one weekend. So I would like to invite you to a completely free 2-day AI training program worth 10,000 rupees brought to you by in partnership with Outskill. Outskill is the world's first AI focused educational platform which is backed by global AI investor and pioneers. You'll get 16 hours of live training on Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. IST. The link is in the description box. And what you will learn is 20 plus powerful AI tools, prompt engineering for better, faster results, data analysis at no coding, creating professional presentations, building your own AI app, generating stunning AI images, developing powerful AI agents, automating your daily tasks for maximum efficiency. This training is designed for everyone, irrespective of the background that you come from, be it freelancing, marketing, HR, operations, or running your own company. Professionals from 40 countries have already joined, and the results speak for themselves. The seats are filling up fast, and this is only free for a short time. Join the WhatsApp community for latest updates, and don't miss the intro call this Friday at 7 p.m. IST. Now, with that said, let's move over to the main video. So, the first stock that I have already bought is NSE, which is National Stock Exchange. And basically, its peer or its little brother BSC is already listed on India's stock exchange, and it has done exceptionally well. So, for example, here is the growth trajectory of BSC, and you will see that it has given multi-bagger gains. The primary problem on NSE was that it was getting stuck in the private space and it was not getting listed. So, it was in unlisted, and it has been in unlisted for a fairly long period of time. And the existing shareholders in NSE got very frustrated. And there has been valuation up down on NSE in unlisted space. But after the listing of BSC, after having seen blockbuster performance from BSC, even NSE, it looks like that it is going to IPO soon. Now, whenever a company transitions from unlisted to listed, especially a monopoly stock like NSE, it kind of does fairly well. Okay. Now that's speculation, and I do not want you guys to be speculative. So we need to study some data. So let me throw some 3-4 key data points which will help you understand the logistics behind it. Okay. So first and foremost, if you take a look at NSE, what you will notice is that here is the market cap of both companies, NSE and BSC. NSE is almost 5.5 times that of BSC. Okay, so this is one. Second key point is that when it comes to trading volume, so what is the primary business model of NSE and BSE? Basically, when you and I invest in stocks, trade in stocks, that's called as trading volume. Okay, so that's what the thesis of NSE is, that most of the revenue for NSE or BSE comes because we are buying and selling stocks, and there is like FNO volume, cash volume, etc. And when more and more people buy and sell stocks, NSE and BSE will continue to make more money. Okay, so this is the overarching thesis, and most of these trades currently happen on NSE, not on BSE. This is a very important point for us to understand. Now, because of increased volume in trade, what you will look at is that the profit after tax margin even for NSE is higher than that of BSE. So net NSE is a more profitable business compared to BSE as of today, right? So this is point one. Point two is that we understand that even BSC is a great company, right? And we will be splitting here in terms of comparing NSE with BSC. But long story short, NSE, because of the fact that it is in the private space or unlisted space, what is the meaning of that? For example, you can go and buy BSC stock tomorrow from your broker. You will just open up your Grow, Zerodha account, whatever it is, and you can literally place a buy order on BSC tomorrow. Why? Because BSC is a listed company. Its IPO has already happened. But when it comes to NSE, its IPO has not happened, right? So when IPO happens, basically there is more interest, there is more liquidity. For example, NSE also went through a stock split. Now that's kind of a preparation for it to bring it to the market, bring it to the public market, so to say. NSE has been a very prized asset of the government. It will bring in, I don't know, I can't comment whether they will bring it in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, whenever it is. But from a long term money making perspective, NSE is solid. Okay, so this is what I will say. This is where value unlocking for NSE will happen, that it will go from unlisted to listed space. Now comes valuations. That hey, are valuations for NSE fine? Because in the private market, it is very difficult to value a stock and figure out whether the stock is intrinsically at a good value or a bad value. Now see, I cannot say anything about valuation. Everything is hyped up these days. But if we just compare it externally to BSE, so you will see that PE ratio for NSE is more sensible compared to BSE. If we look at PEG ratio, again it is sensible compared to BSE. So net compared to BSE, NSE is a better bet. Okay, so this is part one of the story. Now let's say that we get valuation also wrong, that we invest now and valuation does not turn out to be well. Then what? Why? See, it's a very strong business at the end of the day. Why am I saying it? And what makes a business strong? Well, number one, it can survive. And number two, its user base is growing. And number three, profitability is growing, right? So if all these three things are happening, then it's a solid business. And all the businesses that I will speak about today are solid businesses. Okay. So on that note, let us look at the unique user base of NSE versus BSE. And what you will see is doubling of user base, right? So for example, in 2020, there were 40 million. This number must be in millions, right? So 40 million NSE unique investors. Now this has gone to 113. Okay, so almost 3x has happened here. Okay, so NSE from that angle has unique investor or unique customer profile. Now, if we step back, look at the industry, that hey, is like stock investing industry generally is growing. Is there more interest in stock investing in India? Short answer is yes. It is not because stock investing is some, God-given good thing. No, nothing like that. But people have no other option left. Bonds are not generating enough returns. Real estate is very expensive, so people can't buy real estate. Even in real estate, something called as REITs has started to come up, which is fractional real estate investing. And guess what? Who are the biggest investors in REITs now? Mutual funds. Okay, so all your SIP money is going to REITs exit now. Long story short, stock investing exposure is going to grow in India. So if you run like forecast studies, etc., this number is only going to go up, right? So even if NSE lists by let's say 2030 and the user base for NSE doubles from this point, now that's a huge play. That's a very strong business oriented play. So long story short, I feel that NSE is great. So therefore, I have already put in my money on that. Now, in case you want to buy unlisted stocks, then you can use platforms like Incred Money, or there are a bunch of other unlisted zone, etc. I have bought it from Incred Money. I feel it's a reliable platform. So you can go and check it out. I will put the link in the description comment box. So this is stock one. Now stock two is more global, and I would pick the second stock as ASML. Now for people who do not know what ASML is, so basically it does something called as EUV lithographic machines, right? So these machines help you put impressions on chips. So for example, you have companies like TSMC, Nvidia. What do they make? They make chips, right? Now what is the meaning of chips? Chips basically means electronic component on which silicon fabrication is done. Now this is done by machines that look like this. Now this machine is manufactured by a company called as ASML. It's a European based company. It's one of the monopoly players when it comes to manufacturing this machine. Okay, so it's a single player out there. So right from TSMC, Intel, all the chips that are powered have been made in a way through ASML, right? So this is ASML, this is its business model. Natural question comes that, hey, why is it not seeing any other competitor in this space? Well, because the technology has a lead time. For example, if TSMC has put in a lot of capacity or has built a lot of capacity for its chip manufacturing, it has gotten like forward contracts that, hey, we are going to manufacture 5 million chips for Dell, which is its end customer hypothetically. They don't want to take chance with their operations. So since they have these long-term contracts with ASML, it's very difficult to get out of these contracts. So long story short, ASML is doing fairly well. This is already on my portfolio. It is already up. And if you take a look at the net income of the company, you will see that the company has exploded its net income. For example, in 2019, this was around 2,500 million euros, which has gone to almost 3 3x in a matter of 4-5 years. Okay, so this is very strong performance. Now you might say that, you know what, it's a back-end provider. See, if you're a monopoly player, then you can command prices. So its profit margins haven't gone down. It continues to maintain close to 30% profit margin year on year. So the business is extremely strong. What is the mistake that people can make? Well, the mistake that people can make is that they buy these type of companies at crazy valuations. So what about valuations? Is it a good time to buy something like ASML? See guys, I mean, if you want to learn how to buy things properly, I would highly encourage you to join my community. I outline my portfolio. Every single buy and call is given so that I study all the valuations. Like, I mean, this is my full-time job. So I give out buy and sell calls from an education perspective. This I'm purely doing it from US stock perspective. So in case you are someone who's looking for that global exposure, then definitely consider reaching out and joining this community. So anyways, let me quickly explain you ASML's valuation. So from its peak, ASML has corrected, right? So from here to here, it corrected by almost 50%. And this is despite revenue growth. This is despite profit growth and maintenance of profit margin. Why was this correction happened? Well, this is valuation correction. Why valuation correction? Because the stock price had skyrocketed. Now what has started to happen is that, see, if you look at this resistance line, this recent rally, right, from here to here, this is breaking of resistance. This red line is the resistance line and the stock has broken its resistance. So probably it looks like that this momentum will change, right? So these are momentum lines. So this black line that you see now, in case if there is a momentum turn, right? So if it happens something like this, that this black line goes here and this red line, let me just draw it separately. If this red line becomes here, so this is called as bullish momentum, right? So I've just marked it out in terms of simple moving averages. So long story short, if the momentum here becomes positive, this stock is likely to run from this point. So even from a valuation point of view, this is a good time. So this is stock number 2. Stock number 3. Now the first 2 stocks I already have. This one I would want to aggregate. So the third stock that I would want to buy is a company called as Duolingo. Now in case you guys don't know, basically Duolingo is now the biggest language learning app. Its primary business model is twofold. One is that it sells paid subscription, and second, what it does is that it shows ads, right? So it has started to ramp up that service. Now these type of businesses are very hard to scale. Why? These are subscription oriented businesses, and subscription businesses are very, very hard to crack. Why? Because they have massive burn rate till the time you get like a baseline level of subscriptions. Now, the biggest way of analyzing these type of companies is look at the user base growth rate. Now, these are the numbers for Duolingo. It has absolutely skyrocketed. So it used to have 7.8 or close to 8 million subscribers or daily average users. Now it has gone 4x, okay, almost 4 times, right, from in the last 6 years. This is crazy growth, right? Now you would say that, okay, they might be burning money, this, that stuff. See guys, basically monetization can be figured out if you are having a solid business model. The daily average user growth shows that this model is sustainable in a way that this product is very, very useful. The product is great. So as long as this company remains the best language learning app, it will become the go-to app for language learning. The brand value that Duolingo now has, it's unparalleled. People would want to continue to learn different languages. For example, Google recently launched a feature on their app. On Google Meet, if for example, I'm speaking on English with a Spanish speaking guy, now my audio will be transcribed into Spanish in real time and vice versa. So which is great. Now that might make me question that, why even learn a language? But no, if I'm a language learning fanatic, I would want to do that. I would want to experience that culture. So there will always be demand for language learners in the world. Duolingo adds that. Now, is this a great time to add Duolingo to your portfolio? There has almost been a parabolic rise on the stock. This has given almost 70% run up in the last 2 months. Okay, so not right now, but this is a great stock to add from a long-term basis whenever the price corrects. So I'm keeping a close eye on this. This is definitely a stock that I will be adding in the next 1.5 years whenever I get a chance. So this is stock number 3. The next stock that I have on my portfolio, which I have already added and I have seen great returns on, is a company called as Mercado Libre. Now, for people who do not know what Mercado Libre is, an easy way to visualize is it's the Amazon of Latin America. Now, Latin America, like India, has younger population. It's growing fast. It's an emerging economy. A lot of fintech innovation is happening. E-commerce innovation is happening. And like many other parts of the world, there is a concept of super app, which is there, right? For example, in India, we don't have super app. For example, like if you look at Paytm is pretty much a money app. But if you go to UAE, then there is an app called as Kareem. Now, via Kareem, you can book taxis, you can do fintech payments, you can order food, you can do 100 different things. So that's super app. Similarly, this particular company, right, which is Mercado Libre, is kind of becoming like that, right? So it's turning into a super app in an economy which is growing fast, in an economy where the customer adoption to these type of services is growing really, really fast. And these are what the numbers look like. And here you will see that basically the unique active user base for Mercado Libre in 2015 was 20 million. Now it has gone to 100 million. So in 10 years, it has gone 5x, which is very, very healthy growth. Now, on top of that, as you know, that whenever an e-commerce platform starts, then it's very loss making. For example, Amazon, Flipkart, it used to be like crazy loss making. But what about Mercado Libre? Well, it used to be loss making. It used to make minus 37, minus 181 million. But over time, it has become positive. And it has not just become positive, it has become supremely positive. Look at the growth rate of the company. It is absolute crazy in terms of the rate at which it is expanding its profit. Best part, the model has just gotten proven and it is solid from that angle. So these are your long-term buy and aggregate type of companies that you buy these type of companies at almost every dip because the underlying structure is so strong. Now, again, all these type of stocks you can buy through an app called as Vested. Again, I'll put a link in case you guys are interested. You can open your account. Now, is this a great time to add? Well, that's slightly debatable. It depends on whether you have some positions on Miele already or not. Miele means this is the ticker for Mercado Libre. I had bought it here. Okay, so I am sitting on very healthy profits on my first bulk that I did. Now it has given a breakout, and for you to understand, right, I mean, here it is. So I'll just quickly show you. So this is the entire channel for Mercado Libre, right? And this is the way it goes. And it has broken out of this channel and it has given a sustained breakout, which means that it might be in a very positive momentum. So in case you are aggregating this stock now, you should do it with a stop loss. Okay. If you are doing SIP, then it's fine, right? There is no problem in terms of doing SIP on this stock. This is definitely not a time to bulk buy. Most likely, my understanding is that it will see a little bit of weakness. There will be an opportunity soon to aggregate this. That's my hypothesis, that it will correct a little bit. And then it would become a very good time to do the next bulk on this. And yeah, so that's what I'm waiting for. It's a solid company, so I will be aggregating this. Now, similar to Duolingo, there is another company, but in a different space, and it is Netflix. Now, all of us understand what Netflix is. What people don't understand is that AI is going to deeply impact Netflix. How exactly? Because one of the primary cost structure for Netflix is what? Well, it's content creation. Now they need to create like very specific type of content for different types of audience, contextualize it according to different geographies. They need to refresh the library. They need to hook people to watching Netflix. It's all a content game, what they are paying. And if you study the initial days of Netflix, one of the key problems that they faced was that their content production cost was really high. Now, with time, what is going to happen is that with the automation of content, with the generation of AI, a lot of content can be created without even spending crazy amount of money, right? So that's a fact. In case you don't trust it, here is a update that was released by Google, and this is what the video clips look like. And just watch it for 20 seconds and then I will tell you the story behind it.
And she commands your awe with every breaking light.
The microfilm is in your ticket.
They're watching the north exit. Use the service tunnel.
According to this old sea chart, the lost island isn't myth. We must prepare an expedition immediately.
Okay, so basically here, neither the actor was real, neither the voice was real, neither the background was real. All this was AI generated. Now, Netflix can end up doing something like this. It can have its own in-house production house, which can churn out content like crazy. They will save a ton on AI generation. That's one. So they cut their fodder cost. Number 2 point about Netflix is that they will be able to show you targeted ad due to AI, right? Plus, they will increase the hook time. Now, hook time means that, okay, you're watching Netflix right now because AI is not that sophisticated. It can't hook you, but maybe with time, they will hook you more and more. They are getting into gaming. Now, that's again a major income stream for Netflix. So Netflix is a stock that will compound with time. No one is stopping it. Market has already started to realize it. So it's a great buy on dips type of a stock. Now, just for better understanding and helping you understand this story through data, so here is what the subscriber base of Netflix looks like. that they used to have 167 million subscribers. Now this has gone to 301 subscriber base. So they have almost been able to double their subscriber base on a 5-year basis. Now, interesting part is that almost 33% of the subscriber base comes from the US and 66 comes from abroad. Now this market is huge for Netflix, and Netflix is gaining more and more popularity. So bringing this number up is not going to be very challenging for Netflix with time. And even if they are not able to do it, they have a series of products, product 1, 2, product 3. Plus, in terms of improving their profit margins, they can do that. So a lot of good work is happening at Netflix, and it's going to be one of the primary beneficiary of AI revolution. So the next set of stocks that I would speak about is AMD and Nvidia. Now, many people have reached out to me. I have also aggregated Nvidia. It's on profit already because I was able to buy the dip. I feel that from a short-term perspective, this has become a little bit bloated. So I would retain some bit of cash positions to buy these stocks when they actually fall a lot next. But long story short, if you're taking a 5-10 year viewpoint, the reason why Nvidia and AMD will grow is very simple. And the story is around data centers. Meaning of data center is this. So this is a facility run by the Chinese in Mongolia, and it's the world's biggest data center. Now, why have they built such a big mega data center in Mongolia? Because the cost of electricity is very less. And what do you need for running a good data center? Well, processing energy. So if the energy cost is less and you can process a lot of energy, so that leads to enhanced security in-house. So China is going to have its own series of data centers. US is going to do the same. Now, which are the two leading players here? Number 1 and 2 would be Nvidia and AMD. Here, even if Chinese become hyper efficient, US is not going to hand over their data center to the Chinese. It's a critical risk issue. There are very pertinent data privacy, data secrecy laws that US follows. So these companies are going to do a lot of business in the data center space. And if you take a look at the revenue growth of data center for both these companies, it's very, very impressive. So for example, you will see that this is Nvidia data center revenue growth, right? So you'll see that it's growing at like, crazy rate, right? And same for AMD, that even AMD's data center revenues are growing at a crazy pace. So I wanted to speak about other stocks also like Robinhood and CrowdStrike and a bunch of other M7 stocks, but unfortunately the video will become really long. So maybe I'll do a part 2 in case you guys like this video. But I hope that this video gave you a sense as to how to go about investing money in solid companies. This is where the future of growth lies. So in case you're not building positions, at least build some. For Indian tax residents, buying and holding these type of companies also kind of makes sense even if you're not rotating, because these are very solid companies that are generating real growth in the world. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.